Oh, hell yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Today Day is Labor Day. You're absolutely right, Tim. Yep. And Gray said it as well. You volunteered to work for extra PTO? I don't get any extra anything. It's just unfortunately I'm in a restaurant, so nah, nothing special, just the same old 15 hours. I mean 15 hours. $15 an hour, but you know, whatever I can get before I leave this place. I only have like 2 weeks left on my visa. Actually, it's 2 weeks to the date. 2 weeks to the date, I just noticed. So I have exactly 2 weeks left. You never guessed today would be Labor Day. Well, there you go. There you go. Also, it is also now September, I believe. So, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there should be some, like, sub-discounts and stuff going on now. 15 hours per dollar. You know, some places would do that. But oh my gosh, yes, let me say hi to everyone. Hello, Fidget, Trifosu, Rebel Appliance, Gray, Amber, of course, hi, Metanetti, Glade Bloom, Kaiser, hello, Moonstruck, thank you for subbing, how we doing? Juju, Isabel, Cloudy, Sofox, I almost said Cloudy again, Cloudy again, Gray and Tim, Anubis, hi, Minpetal, and Moya as well. It's good to see everyone, hi. Oh my god, thanks for the bits, Fidget! Hi, Leo. Yeah, there I am indeed. I know it's been a while since I've been on, but I suppose I've been really busy because I went to Everfree. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm also doing a lot better as well. I did have a bit of food poisoning earlier during the week, and that took me out for a very long time, so it seems that there's something going around. Everyone in my workplace has something, although it doesn't sound like what I had. Fuzogs as well, and hello, Jess, as well. Yes, it was great to see you. Thanks for the bits, Ember! You still need to see Little Shy's Everfree vlog? Yes, I am in that one as well, but not as much as I was in the TruckCon one. But, you know, it's because I did see him a little bit. I saw him a little bit around. I'm in a little bit with Amber. He met us one of the days and we just kind of started talking. I'm just gonna switch over to the main scene so you can all see me. Hi! Yeah, for like a second. But, you know, whatever works, whatever works. We still got in. It's okay. What was that for? You got into his 2024 one? To be fair, Everfree was huge, okay? It was much, much bigger than TruckCon was. TruckCon allegedly had 600 members, or, you know, 599 plus Amber's dog. Allegedly. Everfree had a final attendance of 2,002. So, yeah, over 2,000. So, we're already talking over 3 times the size of TruckCon. Finally got around to reading to the con reports you linked. Sorry about what happened there. What, Everfree? No, Everfree was the good con. TruckCon didn't go very well. Everfree went a lot better, okay? Don't worry about it. Everfree went so much better. Yeah. There's... like, usually after a con happens, I talk about it. But Everfree... not Everfree. TruckCon just had so much negativity to it. I was afraid to do a stream because I was like, I don't have enough good things to say about it. Come to Vancouver. You know what, I've gotten a real... Yes, Fuzogs did perform there. That was one of the good parts. I will say, not everything about TruckCon was bad. There were good parts. In fact, I think the concerts at TruckCon were absolutely amazing. It was genuinely one of the best concerts I'd been to in ages. So, no. The concerts at TruckCon were absolutely fantastic. It was just sort of... everything else. yeah, you've got just a little bit over a month to UKPC, and a lot of you guys as well are going to Galacon next weekend. And it's gonna feel really weird that I'm not gonna be there this time, because, you know, I've been going to the past 3 Galacons now. It's probably why my opinion on how that one was skewed. I was mostly concerting. That was one of the good parts of it. Oh, yeah, thank you, Fidget. Thank you, Fidget. Yeah, and you played with someone else as well. I remember, I saw it, I was there. Oh, who was it again? But yeah, I remember you were doing, that was cool. That was really cool. Yeah, I am gonna miss all of my friends at Galacon, but, oh yes, Bramble and Koa. Yes, Bramble and Koa. Yeah, it was a good time all around. It was a good time. I am gonna miss all my friends at Galacon. It's gonna be weird not being there this time, but, I am looking forward to PonyCon Holland. I bought my ticket yesterday, just to make sure that I don't forget. Because the problem is, this is a weird problem to have now, but, like, I've had so many cons this year, I've actually started losing track of what I got tickets for. So, I had to make sure that I actually had a ticket for PonyCon Holland before they all, like, disappeared. I do. I have them now. I won't be missing it. I will be there. Oh, hi, Puffle! Oh my gosh, good to see you. You were wondering who my favorite pony of the main 6 is. Well, I usually go with Rainbow Dash or Rarity. I really, really love those 2 girls because they are just amazing girl bosses. Yeah, that's an awesome problem to have, losing track of tickets. Yeah, it sounds fun until it's like, oh no. It's a genuine problem, because you're so afraid of, like, rocking up to registration and they're like, we can't find you on this list. Are you sure you got a ticket? And then you're like, you know what? No, I'm not. Oh, but anyways, let's talk about Everfree, because I'm only gonna have until, like, you know, 4 something. So, let's get into it. So, I traveled on the Thursday of that week. I will have pictures up here as well, I just need to grab some. So, I had a bit of a long wait. I went from the East Coast to the West Coast. That was pretty far. It took me about, well, let's see, there was a 5-hour flight. I had to go to Charlotte Douglas first, from Philadelphia, and then all the way to SeaTac. So, like, in total, it took about, like, maybe 8 hours with all the travel, like, you know, driving to Philly, getting there, going over to one plane to another. It was less than an hour to get to Charlotte, and then it took 5 hours to fly to SeaTac. And then there was, you know, we lost 3-hour time difference. It was also it was also Anubis's birthday that day. And I spent it flying even further away from him. I felt so bad. Happy birthday, I'm flying even further away from you. So, because I'm over on the East Coast at the moment, and of course Anubis is in Germany, we were already 6 hours apart. But for me to go to Seattle for the weekend, that day it became 9 hours. What a birthday present, right? But, you know, I said I'd make it up to him and get him something really nice at Everfree, which I did. Oh, hi Hunter! How we doing? Yeah, the main antagonist. How we doing? Hope you're doing good, Hunter. It's good to see you. But on the flight on the flight, I saw something freaking amazing, okay? And that was... Let's see if my window capture will work. Yeah. That is Mount Rainier. That was just right outside my window. I don't know why it's not layered correctly. Apologies. Let me try and layer it correctly, because that's... there we go. Now, that is a huge, impressive window. Like, I was just flying into SeaTac, and then I look out the window, and then I see that. And, like, at first, the mountain below, it looks like... Yeah, I'm so glad I had a window seat for this. It looks like grass or moss or something below me. No. Those are trees. Those are evergreen trees. Freaking huge. That was the coolest thing to see when I was flying in. And it was a really nice time of the evening as well. I got in at around 7 p.m. Pacific time. It was... Oh my gosh. That was insane. I saw this about within an hour of landing. And like, I spent most of my time playing Spider-Man Remastered on the Steam Deck. So it's like most of the time I was just playing games. And then I think it was when the flight attendants came around and offered us, you know, some drinks and stuff. And, you know, so then that's when I put my Steam Deck down and said, okay, I'm gonna stop for a snack. And so I have my juice and whatever it is, and I take a minute to look outside, and I'm like, whoa, hold on a minute, look at that! Look at that giant mountain! So it was really cool to be flying over the Rockies, or whatever this is. I think this is the Rockies, right? Yeah. Any good food in the flight? So, because it was only 5 hours, I guess it wasn't really considered a long-haul flight, so I didn't get, like, a free meal or anything, but it seems like every time I go somewhere on an American airline, I get, like, little snacks. Like, they usually give us... You know what they gave us? They gave us Lotus Biscoff. And I'm a sucker for Biscoff. I love Biscoff, okay? So they gave us Biscoff and free sodas and free juice at the end. Yeah, it was 5 hours. I think it has to be 6 by the time they, you know, to entitle like an actual meal of sorts. Ah, why'd you bonk me? So, yeah, I didn't get any airline food, but I brought some snacks with me. I brought some Swedish fish with me. Those were nice. And, let's see, what else was there? That was the main thing I did. Oh yeah, it was a bit of an interesting aircraft because, you know, usually you get, like, I suppose it wasn't even, because it was only 5 hours again, I suppose, they didn't have, like, screens actually installed at the back of the seats, but they did have ports, and they did have these little things that you could put your phone in, like, I don't know how to explain it, like a stand or something. Like, it would secure your phone so that you could still watch things. And of course, you know, access to their network, and you could watch whatever they had on it. I watched a few episodes of Futurama, and then on the flight over to Charlotte, it was so short that I got in about 3 episodes of Smiling Friends before we landed. That was to Charlotte. SeaTac, I saw a few episodes of Futurama while I was snacking on things, and then for most of the flight, I just played Spider-Man. Your phone overheated, so it shut down Twitch. Oh no. You watch Avengers Endgame? Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't in a movie mood. I was in a let's play games and maybe watch like 1 or 2 episodes of a show. But yeah, I did see Smiling Friends. All episodes I'd seen before, but you know, I didn't mind revisiting them. I was like, you know, it's something to do. But what about when I actually landed at SeaTac? That was this was a weird, I had some very weird first impressions about Seattle because This is what happened when I first landed. I got outside. I was waiting for the bus to take me to Bellevue. And, like, obviously I've never been here before. So I'm like, okay, this is new to me. So I'm trying to find the bus that, you know, the Everfree Northwest Discord server told us that we should all take or whatever. So I get my ticket and I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I know what bus I'm taking. Here we go. Sit down, and then this other woman passes me and she's like, hey, do you know if so-and-so bus comes this way? And I'm like, listen, I'm very much not from around here, but I'm pretty sure I saw that bus pass here before, so I think you're on the right track. So she's like, okay, great, thank you. And then she just dead ass goes, my friend just got arrested. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, and then she goes on and is just like, yeah, I didn't know this, but apparently he was wanted by the police, and they took him away and seized his car. And I'm just like, huh. I see. I'm sorry to hear that. And she's like, I'm just trying to get home. And my boyfriend's trying to just, you know, help me get home. So, yeah. Oh, Starfire, thank you. And this happens, like, you know, literally 10 minutes after I literally get out of the airport. And eventually she gets she gets onto her bus, and I'm like, okay, hope she'll be alright. Not 10 minutes passes by before this scruffy old woman in a Philadelphia Eagles shirt passes me. And she's just like, hey, do you have a cigarette? I just got out of jail. Now, if this woman, the first woman, didn't specify the gender of her friend was a male, I would have assumed that this was the friend. It wasn't. But, like, it's really weird that this happened, like, right after the other thing. It was like, what's happening? So, that was my first introduction to Seattle. I was like, what is this city? What is with this place? Like, you know, it's hyped up that it's such a, like, a friendly, clean, lovable, like, walkable city. Everyone is friendly or whatever, you know, and suddenly it's just like, oh yeah, okay, so I've literally just landed, and there's two people now have told me that they've got, you know, some kind of relation to the law. So that was really weird. Eventually I got on my bus, and it was low-key getting dark, so I was asking my friends to meet me on the other end, which I was collected by Mint Petal and a buddy of his, Cooper. What happened? Oh god. Someone filled Rebel in, basically just people who had run-ins with the law within the, like, the first half hour that I landed in Seattle. That's what happened. So anyways, we get to the hotel. Thank goodness. And, it's like, it's sort of, it's gotten late at this point. Late enough. So late that, you know, a lot of my friends went off and had dinner. And I was like, okay, I haven't eaten yet. The police wouldn't be that forthright while arresting you in Ireland, yeah. So, yeah, eventually we got there. Me and my buddies were figuring out what we should eat. You know, those of us who hadn't eaten yet. We, look up, like, you know, what's there, whatever. It says that there's a Wendy's open around the corner. So we go around the corner, we figure out that Wendy's, yeah, it's a little bit more complicated than that. Like, they are open, but for drive-through only. And all of us flew in, so none of us have a car. So we're just like, well, okay. I guess we're door dashing it. So that's what we did. We door dashed Wendy's that was around the corner because we couldn't actually do a drive-through. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It was, yeah, Wendy's review, it was alright that night, I think. You know, it was okay. I did have, like, dine-in Wendy's later on that weekend. It was definitely nicer when it wasn't DoorDashed, I think, but, you know, I think that's just the standard. Your food hasn't traveled. Hello, Zanstone Gazer, what's up? Okay, Saturday. So what did we do on Saturday? What panels were there on Saturday? Let me open up the Everfree Northwest site because I want to show you something. I want to show you something here. If you have not seen just how great this is. Now, if you remember me talking about, TruckCon, you will remember that one of my complaints that I had was the schedule that they had was really, really bad and really hard to read. It was a shitty Excel spreadsheet. Everfree knocked it out of the park. This is what their schedule looked like, okay? So much better. So much better. Wait, yeah, sorry, it wasn't Saturday, it was Friday I was trying to talk about. You see, I'm so used to only 2-day cons, I forgot about that. I was gonna say Friday. But, okay, look at all this, right? This is so good, but also they had this thing called My Schedule. So basically, you could just, you know, pick something, add it to your schedule, and it would show up there, and just remind you which ones you wanted to see. That was amazing, okay? Now, I'm still not used to online schedules, but this one worked really, really well. Because, you know, I get it with Everfree. Everfree was huge. It would be hard to print out all of this. And I think, you know, it actually works really well with the, you know, you can choose which events you want to see yourself so that you know, so that it makes sure that you don't miss it. And then, of course, you know, when it actually came, when it was live, there'd be like a line going over it just to see, like, you know, oh yeah, currently playing is this. So that was really good. Everfree was completely goated for that. Another thing about that was goated about this, right? So, if I go to, let's see, can we go to, where was it? I think it was it was it register? It was register. Okay, so now, for admission here, if you go to adult admission, you would see, I got the 3-day badge. So, it promised the 3-day badge, a standard lanyard, general admission, pony stock admission, and of course the Grand Galloping Gala admission, right? That's all that it promised. However, it really delivered on that. You will notice that under patron here, there, just there, it, wait, no, hold on. At least it did. Oh, yep, no, hold on, sorry. Convention booklet. Yep, you see how that's under patron? Well, Everfree surprised us all. Because there were no shortage of con books at this convention. There were loads. In fact, I have a picture of after closing ceremonies on the Sunday, and there were still loads of them just at registration desk. And like, you could just take them. You could take many if you wanted. I took 2. there were just, you know, there was loads of them. So Everfree must be immune to tariffs or something. Because for 2,000 people, they still had a con book for everyone, and more. So, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, I feel like this might have been a flex on Truckon. It might have been. I have no idea what zipped up is. Is that an animation or something? Yeah. I have no idea. But yeah, that was... This was a pleasant surprise. This was a pleasant surprise. It was super cool to see. So we had opening, and there was a flag raising. It was nicely thematic with, like, you know, like the Everfree. Oh, sorry. The Everfree camp, I suppose, like, I can't remember what the actual camp is, but you know, we're Camp Everfree. It was like Camp Everfree. Just a really nice little flag raising and all that. There was a really good view from our hotel room as well. I've never been in a hotel this tall in my life. This hotel was 20 stories tall. This is, you know, we were on the 13th floor, which, you know, I've heard is meant to be superstitious or something. And hi, Brontolo. Apparently, most places don't even have a 13th floor because there's, you know, fear of ghosts or something. But we were there. We were on the 13th floor. We survived. Maybe we were the ghosts. Maybe that was it. So this con took over 3 whole floors of this 20-floor tall building. You can see it on the, let's see, do they have a map? Where's their map? I've mainly looked at this from the, yeah, I've already responded. Yes, I have. I've looked at this a lot from my phone, so I kind of just don't know where everything is. Maybe they took it off. Maybe it's not there anymore. Are these pictures from this year? I don't think I saw this update. I love your man's bag. There's Taylor and the gang. Okay, yeah, no, that is not this year. It's a vibe, though. Total vibe. Yeah, the real ghosts were the friends we made along the way. Okay, so I'm trying to remember what was actually there on Friday. Let's go to the schedule because that'll tell me. All right, so let's see. What did we do on Friday? What did I do on Friday? Okay, I think the first thing I did, apart from opening ceremonies, of course, was asking a pony plushie the tough questions. That was the first one. So yeah, that was Taylor, Red Card, Bobby C's, Gobi, Thrak, Amber, Counter, and Button the chair. That was funny. They all had like their own. They all had plushies. They were all voicing them. And yeah, just answering questions. So, what have we learned? We've learned that, you know, Pinkie Pie and Ohio probably go together. Thrak was the voice of Trixie, and he had this amazing killer line every time, literally just blew. Like, anytime someone asked him a question, anytime someone asked Trixie a question, Trixie would just kind of say, blue. So that was good. That was really good. Everyone was really good with it's like, funny enough, there was no Twilight at this panel, but, like, we had, like, the rest of the main 6, and Luna, and Trixie. But it was really good. It was very fun. Let's see, what else did I do on Friday? I'm actually gonna look it up on my phone just because I forgot. You know when you have, like... There was so much going on, I'm like, I can't even remember what date was what. I think I was a little hands-off this day. Because there was just so much to do and I wanted to, you know, pace myself a little bit. I wanted to hang out with my friends quite a lot. I saw My Little Millionaire was happening. I saw a bit of it. Just a little bit of it. Just a bit of it. But it was fun. You could see it in your eyes that I had no sleep. Yeah, didn't have that much. Monday was... Yeah. No, I was exhausted on Monday. But on Friday, we had the Evergreen dinner. So, it's not usual that we do the Evergreen dinner on a Friday, but, you know, just with how everything was, that's how it ended out. Unfortunately, I did miss a few things that I wanted to see. But, like Animator Says What, and the Draft Horses panel, I know. Tragic as hell. Decker, thank you for subbing! Hi! Pony Cahoots as well, like, I had to miss all that, unfortunately, because we had to eat. I wish I didn't have to eat. Personal attack against me specifically. I know, it hurt. It hurt. Something I found that evening was Bellevue is so expensive. I paid $19 for mac and cheese, and somehow still ended up paying $40 for dinner. I don't know how that even happened, to be honest. Hi, Wireball! How we doing? A little bit before that, I went to Shake Shack, which was, like, a little place for, you know, milkshakes and stuff. I went with Muni and Spin Scissor. That was really fun. So we got some nice shakes. We got to see a bit of Bellevue. Or Bellevue. Yeah, Bellevue. This is pretty nice. It was a $10 burger that was so good, close to the hotel. Was it Wendy's? Wendy's was only there some hours of the day. But that night was also the Grand Galloping Gala. Concerts were good as usual. Let's see, I think there's... Do they have... No, they don't have the... I don't think they have everyone who played that night up anymore. Or no, sorry, Pony Stock. It was Pony Stock, not Gala, sorry. Pony Stock. But yeah, it was fun. It was good. I think Saturday was a more eventful day for me. Let's see. What did I do on Saturday? Oh, yeah. Okay, now here's a good one. So, on Saturday I went to a Bluey panel, and it was a really, really fun one. So, Saturday morning Bluey panel. This was run by 3 Australian guys who felt that they were more than qualified to talk about it because they were Australian. They brought a whole lot of stuff from the Hammer Barn. So if you know anything about Bluey, if you know the Bluey Hammer Barn collab that they had this, like, Bluey has, like, Hammer Barn was, like, the actual place. It was inspired by, you know, an outdoor place. Hi, Festive Turnip, how we doing?
Big shout out to Festiva Turnip, who was recently playing the Outlast Trials.
Outlast
Check out their
Trials.
cool stream sometime.
Hope Outlast Trials went well. Hey, how we doing? We're talking about Everfree. Hope you didn't get grabbed by the ghouls or the ghosties. We were talking about being on level 13. So... But yeah, if you don't know about, yeah, so Hammer Barn is basically Australian Home Depot, exactly. And it's based off of a real place called Bunnings. And so they had like a collab with Bunnings to have like Hammer Barn merch. Just as a part of like the whole Bluey collab. So they brought a whole lot of things from Hammer Barn to the panel. And some of them got given away as prizes. Which is really cool. Ow. You unfortunately got grabbed by the ghouls and the goblins, but it was lots of fun still. Hey, that's something. That's good. That's good. Ugh. So they also they had a disclaimer at the very start that anytime, like if you were in that room for the panel, you were participating in that panel. There was no other way about it. Like you were in that panel and you were going to be a part of that panel. So it was a very interactive panel. We started off with Pass the Parcel. We started off with a game of Pass the Parcel. They had like just these little parcels wrapped up in layers of newspaper. We all know how that works. You play the music, you stop when it gets to someone's when it gets to someone. When the music stops, you open it. And yeah, we quickly found that we were playing by Lucky's dad's rules. So it was not everyone wins every time, and at the end, someone gets to be the big winner. So there were three parcels going around. I didn't win any of them, but the final prize in each of those was Australian lollies. Which, funny enough, I've seen those before, because when I went to America the first time, 6 years ago, it was in an international scout jamboree, and I had Australian friends who brought me the same lollies. So, that was really cool to see them again. I was like, oh hey, I recognize those! And they were glad that we were not a panel full of squibs. We were not a generation of squibs. We all knew how to play by Lucky's dad's rules, and we were all okay with it. But they played asparagus with us when we were actually like at the panel. So they could point to you at any moment and name an animal, and you would have to act out that animal. They got me at some point. I had to do an elephant, and I got a caramello koala for it. Let me put an image of that up. It's like an Australian Freddo bar, which they had Freddo bars as well. I actually won 3 Freddo bars at that same panel, but like, this was cool because it was, you know, a caramello koala. I'd never seen a caramello koala before. That was really cool. You can get Freddo bars where I'm from, but you can't get these. That was super cool. A caramello koala. Yeah, that was really cool. They had some quizzes and stuff. Lots of quizzes. Some were really elaborate quizzes, like being able to name or differentiate all of the different gnomes that you see in Bluey. Like, if you can tell which one is Jeremy and which one is, oh gosh, all of the other ones. What? No, you don't need to hide that!
Don't let your kids watch it!
Never seen Caramello Koala. When I was growing up, it was just Caramello Freddo. Yeah, I've never seen these either. That was really cool. But one of the games that we played was The Price is Right. Where, we played the Price is Right with actual Bunnings items. So it was... So you had to try and guess how much everything was in Bunnings, right? And I was up for the first round. I had to guess how much was Lucky's dad's pizza oven. So my guess was 300 Australian dollars. And it was $3.49. So I got the closest. And of course I went under it. So I won a little Uncle Rad for that. I won a little Uncle Rad for winning the Price is Right. So that was really fun. Yeah, no, he's so cute. He's really cute. I got a little Uncle Rad. I think the funniest one, though, the funniest part of the panel was, at the very end of the panel, they asked us what episode we wanted to watch. And while there was quite a demand for Dad Baby, we ended up watching Facey Talk. And we all know what Facey Talk is, right? You know, it's an episode with, you know, Bluey, Bingo, and their cousins Muffin and Socks, and they're all playing, you know, they're on this like FaceTime app with face filters and stuff. And so so the panel runners they pulled out these things you can't get anymore, these glow in the dark Bluey wall stickers. And they said that, you know, you can't get them anymore. They're not being made anymore. They wanted anyone with a full or a teen badge to answer their last question. And there were 2 children in the room. I think they were sisters. So, just these 2 kids in the room, they had this question, right? The question was, what was the name of Muffin's sister? And bear in mind, we had just watched an episode about Muffin and Socks, their family, and, you know, Bluey's family. And one of the kids deadass says, Muffin has a sister? And the whole room just collapsed with laughter. All of these Bluey adults just absolutely falling around the place laughing, going, is this kid for real? But luckily enough, this kid's sister answered correctly, and they still got the wall stickers, and you know, they probably share a room anyways, but it was really, really funny. Muffin has a sister? Yes. It was nice to see the kids get something anyways, though. It was base kid, to be honest, little rage baiter. Yeah, I don't know. Some people thought, you know, maybe they thought that Socks was a boy. Maybe they thought that, you know, Muffin actually had a brother and not a little sister. But yeah, whatever that kid thought, it was funny. It was really funny. Muffin has a sister? Congratulations. You win the panel. You win the Everfree panel. It was fantastic. Also, I do want to point out, when the panelists first came over, when they first put the presentation on as well, they were like, "Oh, sorry, is this is an American laptop, so we might have to we might have to fix something here." We gotta love the Australian jokes. We gotta love it, you know. Yeah. So that was how I started off my Saturday. That was still one of the best panels I have been to. The next one that I went to was the best thing about MLP bracket. So that was if you've never been to this one, basically put a whole lot of things up against each other to find out what was the best thing, what is the best thing about MLP. And that can be anything from, you know, musicians against canon characters, or canon characters against actual ponycons. That was, yeah, just like literally anything went, like anything goes at this one, right? I will say as well, when it came to Tempest Shadow and PonyCon Holland, now Tempest Shadow has quite a fan base in North America. I'm friendly enough with two members, I'd say we could even call them leaders of the Tempest troop. Just, you know, a fan base for Tempest Shadow. Volrath and Lucky Star, they're really, really into Tempest Shadow. Yeah, Sunburst wasn't on this list, but I would have voted for him every single time. But when it came to this one, right? This is America. No one's been to PonyCon Holland in America, right? But Gobi Raptor was on this panel. And I think Gobi Raptor has been. And I haven't been yet, but I am going. And I felt that it was my duty, as probably the only European in the room, to advocate for PonyCon Holland. So me and Gobi, we fought for PonyCon Holland. We did not care if we were the only two in the room, which we were, to fight for PonyCon Holland. We put on a good fight. We put on a good fight. But yeah, Tempest Shadow won this one. So, spoiler alert. At the very end of this one in particular, because, you know, I'm pretty sure this panel changes every time. Although we have made jokes about this being rigged, because it was being run by Taylor McCardle, who, if you do not know anything about Taylor, he's a huge, huge Starlight Glimmer fan. And what won this? Kelly Sheridan, the voice of Starlight Glimmer. Okay, a Taylor panel. The best thing about MLP is Kelly Sheridan. How curious. Yes, okay. I see. Yeah, no, we've made jokes about that. But, you know, I was there to see it. It was a group vote. Everyone voted in the room for anyone that they wanted. Kelly Sheridan won fair and square. I'm just saying though, Sunburst wasn't in the bracket. If he was, that could have been a very different match. It could have been. Just saying, it could have been. Let's see, what else did we do? Ooh, what did I do that day? Let's see. There was a bit of... I think I went... Oh, what happened to OBS? What? Wait, am I still on? OBS just told me it disconnected for a second. Am I here? Okay. That was super weird. I don't know why it just did that. Okay. Really weird. Okay, anyways. So, a little bit of G3 appreciation. That was really nice. I also got to, I also saw my friend DJ Thed. Which, it's funny, neither of us knew we were there until we saw each other. I saw him on Friday night and I was like, hey, wait, is that DJ Thed? And so I messaged him like, hey, are you at Everfree? And he was like, yeah. Are you? And I'm like, yeah. So we met up. He went to the G3 appreciation panel with me. I'm not sure how much Thed actually knew about G3. But I guess he knows a little bit more now. G3 has a special place in my heart. It's charming. It's fun. It's nice. And these two these two panelists, I recommended that they went to UK PonyCon afterwards. And they already told me, like, oh yeah, no, don't worry. We are going. You like Starcatcher? Starcatcher's a good one. So, they're going to UK PonyCon. I think they will love it. I'm not sure if they're bringing their panel with them or not, but, like, they'll love it. But yes, my little match game came after that, which I think some of you even saw. Some of you might have seen that. Some of you told me that you saw a live stream of it. If I recall correctly. I wasn't even aware that they were doing that, but I'm pleasantly... I was pleasantly surprised to hear this. So, if you were there to see my little match game, I got to play as a contestant. And there was, yeah, let me read out the entire, like, everyone who was here. So, it was hosted by Taylor McCardle. And then he had, like, this row of guests that I had to attempt to match with. So there was Red Card, there was Bobby C's, there was Confetti Joy, AC Race Best, Saber Spark, Cosmic Keyframe, Silver Quill, Amber, of course, and Dusty Cat. And I was playing against Princess Deadpool. And you know what? I did really well, I think, for my very first match game. I learned how to play match game just so I could play this. And, I did okay. It was, ever since I mentioned in my intro that I was from Ireland, it seems like a lot of the contestants were just very fit on making Irish jokes. Which I guess I kind of forgot about. Like, you forget about that. You tend to forget that you're the only different person in the room. What do you do at match game? Basically, you get a prompt, and your whole aim is to try and, you know, get the same answer as someone else on this ragtag crew of people. So, I tied with Princess Deadpool in the end, and it came down to rock, paper, scissors, which I lost, unfortunately. But I did get a match. I matched with Saber Spark. Crazy. I didn't think I would match with Saber Spark of all people, but here we are. A lot of things surprised me that battle. Dusty Cat kept throwing paper at me. So, overall, quite a fun battle. I'm glad that I managed to, I'm glad that I managed to get up there and have a bit of fun, and I'm really glad that some of you guys got to see it. I think Taylor said that they might have, recorded it. I hope they did, because, you know, it would be super cool just to have for, like, the, you know, the fond memories. And, you know, anyone who missed it could catch it again. I'm not sure if Everfree has recorded it, or if it was just that live stream for that one-off time, or what, but, like, maybe. It'd be super cool, just saying. Yeah, Dusty was throwing a lot of paper. He was throwing a lot of paper airplanes. He threw a little paper ball at me when we were doing the rock, paper, scissors. And then, like, I was just like, who threw that at me? And then Dusty was just like, ooh. You know, just pretending he didn't do that. Yeah, no, it was silly. So silly. Dusty is always so fun to have at a con. Like, you know, he's been to the past couple of Galacons as well, and just... I think, you know, there's a reason they keep inviting him back. Records most of the panels, they just don't have the staff of free time to edit it all in the videos. They don't have to, it's just like, it would be cool to do that. So then I think after my little match game, it was, I think I had a little bit of dinner after that and went to the concerts that night. The concerts, yeah. The concerts that night were really good too. I was mostly excited to see John Kenza, because I had never gotten to see John Kenza live before. And I really like his music. And to my surprise, he played my favorite song of his, and he invited Forever Free Brony to do it up with him. So the name of the song is Love. It's by John Kenza and Forever Free Brony. I did not expect them to bring that song to that show, but they did, and it was amazing. I'm so glad they did. It was beautiful. I was so glad to see it. I couldn't believe it. I think some of you might have seen me and Amber at the very start, like just going up and, you know, having a good time. Now, I'm not sure if this I'm gonna try something. I'm not sure if this is gonna work, because I don't know how videos might work, but I did take some videos and I'd like to see if I can put them up here. Yeah, I might have to download these first. Oh no, wait, hold on, I could just do this. Oh, no, I can't, it's just downloaded something. Discord, please. Why? Why must you do this to me? There needs to be a better way for... Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can, yeah, okay, here it is. Let me see if I can get the sound on.
Now look at me, it's so easy to see.
Yeah, slight flash warning. Yeah, slight flash warning here.
Now look at me, it's so easy. Now look at me, it's so easy.
Hold on, I have a longer one. It's being cut off after a couple seconds. I have a longer one. That was so... Yeah, I have a 38 seconds one. This was really good. Where did I post that? Wait. Definitely. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, I'm gonna download this real quick. It is a very, very good song. I was so pleased to see this one here. I didn't expect it.
Maybe I'm insane. Maybe it's meant to be so tough. Oh, maybe all I need is love.
Oh, the riff! The freaking guitar riff. That was special. I really like what they did there. I really like what they did there. That was super special. That was really great. I really liked that. That was probably my favorite performance that night. That was fantastic. Okay. That was amazing. Yeah, really, really liked that. Now that I know how to do videos as well, there's another amazing video I have here of, oh wait, that's the same video again. Oopsies. I was going to put another video of Ellie Ray Hennessy being an absolute ray of sunshine. This was during match game. She just came in and put her bubbles everywhere. She's amazing. You tried to find me in the hall? Oh, I had no idea. There were supposed to be some VTubing panels at the con. I didn't hear about that. The VTuber was hosting had to back out and come into Everfree. I didn't hear about that. Did not hear about that. Oh, it's a shame you didn't catch me. If you're going to see Equestria Fest, you've got one last chance before I leave the US. I'll give you that much. Yeah, Ellie Ray is always a fantastic bundle of energy. When is that again? It's in 2.5 weeks. Yeah, 2.5 weeks. So that was Saturday. Now, Sunday. I suppose I'm not completely done talking about Saturday. So I stayed up pretty late that night. I was hanging out with DJ Thed and Spin Scissor for a while. And then I found Amber at a room party. Got a little drunk. I mean, I didn't, she did. Amber got very, very drunk. I brought her home at like 3 a.m. She got a wee bit of alcohol poisoning that night and the next day. But, you know, Amber, if you've never met Amber, she is too stubborn as a person to, you know, let any sort of illness take her. So she kind of just went, no, I'm fine, I will get through this day, and you know what? She did. So, yeah, Amber's a total trooper. Gosh, what did I do on Sunday? I think Sunday I was a little bit more chill. I'm trying to think, like, I'm trying to look at what was actually here and what I had saved. I got to see a bit of the charity auction anyways. And, you know, as always, the, charity auction was amazing because they had Dusty Cat. Think you're just really excited and want to spend the day with everyone, that's why you're being stubborn? Yeah. Exactly. So I think I spent a lot of that day actually out in the, okay, I'm going my camera roll to actually remember what I did that day. Right, yeah, so, my friend Willow, who I think I saw in the chat here a little while ago, Willow gave me something really special. Willow came under a sponsor tier and had a few of these little vouchers that you got for autographs and things, and she kind of used up the ones that she wanted to use, and she gave me one, and I was like, oh my god, thank you so much. So on Sunday I decided that I would go down and get one maybe from Tabitha. Now Tabitha's line was really, really long, but I thought if I got there early, it would be okay. But halfway through the time that I spent waiting there, someone on the Everfree staff said, "Hey, so this wasn't planned. Nicole Oliver was only meant to be here on Saturday, but she has decided for the next hour and a half only to open another special signing session, right? And because no one knew about it except everyone who was there, the line was very, very short and very, very quick. So I decided, as much as I love Tabitha so much, I will have another chance to see her at PonyCon Holland in October. So I got one from Nicole Oliver, who was really, really sweet. there. Yeah. So, I got one here from Nicole Oliver. I got to talk to her a little bit about her performance as Zoe from Littlest Pet Shop, because, you know, I really like her in Littlest Pet Shop as well. And she told me, did you know that I actually have a dog called Zoe? And she kind of looks like the Zoe that I voice. And I'm like, that's amazing. I just got Nicole Oliver lore about her dog. It was so amazing. So, that was really, really nice. I was not expecting to meet Nicole Oliver this weekend, but there we go. Thank you so much again for that, Willow. Yeah, Battle, hi. Yeah, no, it wasn't too bad getting to Seattle. Yeah, and like, she wasn't even planning on doing signings on Sunday. She just decided to because she had so much fun doing it the day before. So, I got really, really lucky there. That was very special. That was really sweet. So, oh yeah. So then there was the charity auction, there was closing ceremonies, and then after closing ceremonies and meeting all of my friends and stuff, I got to see a little bit of Seattle. My friend Hyper, is kind of from around the area, decided to take us in her car and show us a little bit of the area. So we even got to see, you know, a little bit of Seattle, because, you know, Bellevue, as nice as it is, it's not Seattle. This is Seattle. You see the Space Needle over here, and gosh, you can really see how crappy my phone camera is when you zoom in. But look at that. So beautiful. That was well worth traveling for. It was lovely. We got to see this big wheel, which, you know, again, it really, really highlights how crappy my phone camera is. She was telling us, like, this cool little bit here. So this is a stadium here. So whenever the Seattle Mariners win a game, they arrange this so that it's a W, just to kind of be like, yeah, we won. That was really cute. The Seattle skyline is just so good. Yeah, no, it is. It's gorgeous. Like, this was well worth traveling for. I think if I wanted to go to Everfree again, I would want to spend like maybe a week in Seattle. Did I visit Scarecrow video? I'm not sure what that is. I have no idea what that is. Apologies. Oh, it looks like my PNG software has broken again. Blah. But anyways, after that, we're getting near the end of it now. After that, we had a very special little thing. I'm so sorry. I don't know why my PNG Tuber software broke. Why is it broken? I know my OC's not moving. That's what I'm saying. It's broken. I don't know. It'll fix itself in a minute, probably. It happens a lot. But this weekend happened to be